Hi, it's Sherri from A Quilting Life, and I'm here today with my October works in progress. I have a ton of things to share with you today. I'm super excited to just get going and show you all the things I'm working on. I'm also working on a whole bunch of things behind the scenes that I can't share, so I guess it's actually kind of good that I have a pretty good roundup for you today. Let's just go ahead and get started. Okay, I'm just gonna, I guess, kind of start at the top right here. This is a table runner that I made using our Emma fabrics. I just chose the blue fabrics, and I did it as part of a blog tour for my friend Melissa Corey's new book, Fast and Fun Lap Quilts. And that is a brand new book with 9 patterns, and they are all based on using 10-inch squares, layer cake squares, or 10-inch stacker squares. And so one of the quilts in her book is called 3 in a Row, and I did a little blog post for her, and I wanted to, show people how versatile the blocks in her quilt were, so I did this cute table runner. So that's first thing. Next thing, it's just right here, so I'll just show you. This is my Motoblock Heads 4 quilt that I did with the small blocks. I'm actually taking it to be quilted just a few days after we are filming this. The setting I ended up using is the same setting from my 4 square pattern, and I just decided that would be a really fun way to showcase these red, white, and blue blocks with a little bit of gray. And still haven't decided on what I'm going to bind this one with, but I usually figure it out pretty quickly once I see it quilted. And underneath, because I don't think I have shared this quilted, but this is my Motoblock Heads 4 that I did with my large blocks, and I used all of the prints in the Emma collection for this one, and Val Krieger did the custom quilting. I love how she just did every block differently. One thing you'll notice is I didn't use any kind of sashing posts for this. I just thought it would take away from the quilt, and so I didn't do anything like that for this quilt. I am going to stop the camera really quick and pull up one block in particular that I want to show you. Okay, so this block was one of the final blocks in the Motoblock Heads 4 quilt along, and it was designed by Corey Yoder, and it had this big square in the center, and at first I thought about putting a busy floral in there or adding in another block, but then in the end I realized that it would be a great place for my quilter to do kind of a little signature block. And since this quilt is made in our Emma fabrics, the collection is named after my grandmother's grandmother, I decided it would be fun to have Val Quilt to Emma with love, Sherri. So not a quilt label. I almost think I should have had her put the year in, but I'll probably stitch something on the back with the year that I completed this. But anyway, this is the only quilt that I've done with the Emma fabrics where I had something like this. And I thought of it last minute, and Val said, yes, I'll do that. And so anyway, just thought I would show you, if you're still working on your Motoblock Heads 4 blocks, this is a great block to use for a quilt label or a signature block. Okay, next up, and you might have already seen this on the blog, but this is the Christmas Time Fat Quarter Shop little mystery quilt, and it was 4 blocks: the mug, the hard candy, the Christmas cards, and the packages. And I love how this went together. It was a really fun mystery quilt to sew along with. I used the Merry Little Christmas fabric by Bonnie and Camille. We'll link that, it's still available. And I do love what they had you do for the backing. They had you just use layer cake squares, and my quilter did a great job of really getting it even on the sides so that I had a little bit of those squares on either side to show. Really, really a fun little quilt along. It would look great in a lot of different projects. Okay, this one is just a tease. This is my Quilting Life Block of the Month for 2022 mystery quilt, and it's all done and quilted. I can't show you because there's, those extra blocks that you don't have yet in the quilt, but I just wanted to let you know it's all quilted and ready to go. This next two you also may have seen this. We just posted the video, I believe, last Friday. And this is the October small project, and it's actually 2 in 1. It's a table topper, which finishes at 20 by 20. And then a table runner, you can do either one with a charm pack. Okay, and then the table runner that's included in the same pattern is a little bit less wide. I think it's about 17.5 inches wide by about 33 inches long, 33, 34, somewhere in there. But one charm pack will make either project, and both are included in the PDF. And I do have a little, be sure to go watch that video because I give you a really nifty little way to make these 4 patches. Okay, so I've got more things to share with you. This is actually, these are my leftovers from this quilt along, and getting ready to just make some little projects for Christmas. I haven't quite decided yet what, but Fat Quarter Shop sent me all of the fabric to make this project, and since I had so much left over, I just thought I'm going to leave it on a design board until I figure out what I'm going to make with it, and then I'll get something made. And I actually have quite a bit of what they sent me for the binding, so yeah, I'm looking forward to coming up with a project for that. I haven't decided quite yet. Another thing I'm doing is I'm making some of my little patchwork bags. I had a request for some, and I've got the pieces sewn together. They need to be quilted. This is going to be the back for this bag. It won't be patchwork. And then I'm doing some little smaller ones that are in the pattern as well. These are just one's for me actually, and one is for a friend who requested some little bags. So hoping to get these done really soon. And then I've been playing around with some orange peels. I actually want to make an orange peel quilt, and so I found a tutorial, and when I watched the tutorial I remembered, wow, that is such a great method. I have actually taken a class where somebody used that same method before, and so they really went together really easily. And I'm actually going to be filming a video on this in November that I will show you what I'm doing and what my plans are. But these were kind of my test blocks that I made, and I think all of my background squares are going to be low volume, and I'm going to use, haven't decided yet, either a variety of fabrics from our different collections, or I might do a Christmas version. I haven't decided yet, but we'll definitely keep you updated on this and get that orange peel video to you either in November or December. One more thing, well, a couple more things. I actually was teaching a class, and I taught at the Garden of Quilts in September, and I had to make a couple of sample blocks for the demonstration that I was doing for the class on strip piecing. And I really had fun at home just going through my scrap bin and getting lots of different fabrics. And so I have these 2 super cute scrappy patchwork blocks, and I am determined to make them into a wall hanging. And I have an idea, and so hopefully this is one of those things that I will be able to share with you next month. I'll get it finished up and quilted and share that little wall hanging with you. And last but definitely not least, I'm also keeping up with my designer mystery block of the month. And this is through Fat Quarter Shop, and it's with the Nantucket Summer fabrics. So I think the last time I might have only had 1 block or maybe 2 to show you, but I've got 4 now. And it's just, this is a really, really beautiful collection by Camille Ross Kelly. And so I'm doing this quilt and just having a lot of fun with it. And I'm actually thinking of starting, I know I've told a lot of you this before, but I call it double quilting, where I take a pattern like this and make a second version in some other fabrics. And so I'm actually kind of thinking with all the stars in this would really make a fun Christmas sampler too. So I think with the next block I'm going to just start where I am and make double blocks, and then go back when I have a moment and catch up with these in Christmas fabrics as well. And that is basically everything I'm working on right now that I can share. Everything else is gonna have to wait until middle of December. Okay, so that is it for my October works in progress. Next month is probably going to be all about Christmas preparation and all of the things that I can show you in relationship to that. I promise though in December I will be able to share some of those things I've hinted at today as well. If you enjoyed today's video, please share it with a friend, hit the like button, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Thanks so much for stopping by.